Hey everyone, so I decided I would take my laptop outside and vlog this way because every time I take my phone out to vlog, I normally end up just rambling for a bit and then getting to my topic, and I feel like by the time I get to my topic, it's like the time that I have to record is almost done, so I'm like, well, this is useless because like my phone allows me to record up to 15 minutes before it can't upload because the file is too big. So I can upload up to 15 minutes and then my phone decides to be ridiculous. So I'm not sure if you remember that one time where I said I like to jog. Here's my jogging track. I'm basically walking that again. And you can see the moon right there. See that? That's the moon. Yep. So I get to watch that, you know, go up and get brighter as the night gets darker. So you might not be able to see me after a certain hour, but I give no fucks. It's like 8:55 p.m. right now, and I live in Ontario, and if you want a giant landmark, I live an hour outside of Toronto, so I'm not exactly sure. Just say my time zone is Toronto, and that's where I live. I'm not completely sure what time zone I live in, but like, yeah, that's my time zone. I live in Toronto. And like, so yeah. Well, the GTA, which stands for the Greater Toronto Area. Yeah, it's kind of a nice, cool sunset, isn't it? Yeah. This is the horizon by my house. Right there, right here, is where I take a lot of sunset pictures. Sometimes you get this really, really nice sunset right there, and it looks amazing. And so, when I get lucky enough to get a really nice sunset, I normally run somewhere to these little motorcycle jumps right here, and I take a picture on them. And here's a little camera trick. Put on the flash in order to get the brighter sunset picture because the flash catches the light and highlights the silhouettes more. So that's a nice little camera trick I kind of came up with myself. Because I think this one time I was taking like a sunset photo and like I accidentally left the flash on and I was like, oh shit, the flash is on. This sucks. And like it ended up being like one of the best sunset photos I ever took. And so I'm not completely sure what happened to it. I think I made it into like, thing with me is like I go to like farmers markets and I like develop my own products. Like I have like bracelets, I have hats, and like I went and developed my own photos and like I made cards out of them. So I think that was one of the pictures that I chose to make into the photograph on a card. And it actually ended up working out pretty well. That barking is my dog's. So yeah, that photo was actually pretty great. I love photography too. Okay, so this is kind of like another getting to know me vlog / my favorite TV shows. I just felt kind of inspired to make this video, just because I could, and I was out here and I was like, alright, well I may as well just start talking about my favorite TV shows. Because I was actually watching a cooking TV show. Okay, I'm going to start walking this way. Somebody's coming and I don't know who. But yeah, it's called Cutthroat Kitchen that I was watching before. It's on Netflix. And I actually really love the show. Basically, I love anything with like cooking that has to do like I love watching a whole variety of different types of shows, like Man versus Food, and like this is basically the trail that I see when I walk into my meadow and I jog. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Like yeah, I love watching Man vs. Food. And I love watching Cutthroat Kitchen and like Ramsay's Best Restaurant and like a whole bunch of shows like that. And like, I don't know, like I want to get into other shows like that too. So if you guys have any suggestions, leave it in the comments below. Because like I really do want to like expand my taste. Like I do have that thing that's like Hola that I can like access like the US and Canadian and like other countries that have Netflix, and like so I can technically see any type of show. So if you have a show that you want to recommend to me that's on Netflix that you know of, tell me where you're from and the show that you recommend, because like the thing that I really want to see is a really decent rom-com. Because like I watched one that was really good, and then I watched one not too long later that was really shitty, and like I was like, I need to watch a really good rom-com, because like I don't know, it just, okay, so this is my driveway right here. Yeah, I know, I do kind of live in the middle of nowhere, because like if you're noticing anything like behind me, it's like all tree shots, and then there's like this random red trailer. But like, yeah, so I don't know, like I guess what I'm really looking for is like a really decent rom-com, because like okay, here we go. I'm just going to kind of awkwardly sit somewhere. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see me at all. How's that? Oh, lots better. Okay. So what I'm really looking for right now is a really decent like rom-com show. And my dogs are coming. Oh, Charles! Oh, this is Charles! Oh, hi, Charles. Like, yeah. So, the wedding show that I really like to watch right now is, My Fair Wedding. And I think it's on the US Netflix. And it's actually really good. Like, I love the guy David. I think it's like David Tutera or something. Like, a shout out to that show, because like I love him. Like, I'm watching this wedding show and I'm like, oh, can we be best friends? Like, honestly, like he just strikes me as like the funniest guy to get to know. And like when I was in university, and like I showed one of my dorm mates who also happens to like wedding shows. Like, she has like a secret board of like wedding Pinterest stuff. Like, I think every girl does. And if you're not, you're like a complete hipster. But like, yeah. I don't know. I'm a hipster. So, kind of. I don't know. Charles! It's Charlie, you see? Well, yeah. So, that's my younger sister. Mac! Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh, Mac, stop! Oh, Mac. Yeah. And just in case you were wondering about him, he's half Irish Wolfhound, half Great Dane. He is the sweetest thing ever. And like, yeah. Fuck, what was I talking about? Cobalt. Hi. And like, yeah. So, yeah. I'm literally being visited by dogs. And I have no idea what's going on right now. And there's something in my eye, isn't there? I can't even tell. Okay. So yeah. One of my favorite shows is, like, wedding shows is probably, My Fair Wedding. And there was this one show that I saw, there was only one season on Netflix that I know of. There may or may not be another show going on right now, or like another season going on right now that hasn't been added to Netflix just yet. It's called Bridalplasty, and it's kind of ridiculous. Like, the reason why I like it is just for a pure entertainment value. It's kind of like why people watch The Bachelor or like The Bachelorette. I mean, I've seen random episodes on like YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, these girls are cats. Like, if they were animalized, quite literally, they'd be scratching each other's eyes out. I'm like, it's not nearly as dark as my computer makes it look, I swear. But like, yeah, like those girls are cats on that show. I'm like, how do you deal with that? Like, I'm serious. Like, how do you do that? And like, yeah, if you see me wear this blue dress a lot, I love it. It's from Sirens. And I live in Canada again. I'm not sure if Sirens is more than just Ontario-wide, but like, it's basically this style of dress with this nice little brown belt. Okay, I love these dresses. The first one I ever bought was a black one and a red one, and then I went back this summer and I found a whole bunch that I ended up buying. This was one of them, and I love it. But like, yeah. So, as far as like wedding rom-coms go, I actually love them. And like, I can't really tell people why, I just do. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, so, I don't know. But like, horror movies? Okay, there was this one that I watched, I think it's on the US Netflix. It's called The Babadook. Or like The Babadook, whatever. Babadook. It was terrifying. Like, I actually watched it, and I couldn't sleep. Honestly, like, I couldn't sleep. I think it was made in 2013, 2014, and I think it was like that and The Exorcist that are the two top movies that I've ever watched in the horror genre that are insane. They're incredible. They're so good. And like honestly, I think of The Babadook and I'm like, I'm still scared. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, I feel like The Exorcist, like the original one made in like the 70s, I could recover from, but like The Babadook, no. I just can't. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't. Like, it scares me, like, a lot. I watched this one that was really kind of bad. The Babadook was amazing. The Exorcist, in like the original 1970s one, was amazing. But there was this one that I watched. The first one isn't on Netflix, but the second one is, I'm pretty sure, again, on the American Netflix, where it was called, Grave Encounters 2. It was so bad. Like, I loved it, like, for the concept, but I also, the main character was like, dude, Grave Encounters is real, I swear. And, like, some way, somehow, he convinces his, like, girlfriend to, like, come along on this wild goose chase to, like, Vancouver, Canada, to some random mental hospital, which they bleep out, and, like, the, you know, bleep mental hospital. We're gonna go to bleep mental hospital and, like, inspect it, because, like, this random bleep told us to go there. And I'm like, okay. And so, it was just so many plot holes, and, like, you know, this one guy, like, the first death was, like, this random Asian guy, and he was like, the minorities always die. 10 minutes later, he, like, is pacing, he's like, what the fuck? And, like, he's, like, standing in front of a window, conveniently, on, like, the top floor of, like, the 4th floor of, like, this mental hospital, which randomly he got convinced to go, and, like, by his, like, friend, who was convinced that the Grave Encounters 1 was real, and, like, he's standing there, he waits 15 seconds and he's like, what's going on? I don't know. And like, it was scary that he got pushed out of the window by some unknown force, but it was also like, that is so fake. I'm sorry, but that is so fake. Like, I can't believe that. So, yeah. And like, just like, looking at it, like, the producer guy, he was being such an asshole that it was like, there's no way. Like, and like, at the end of the video, he was like, this might be a spoiler alert, but he was talking to the main character, and the main character was like, I deny everything, like, it's not real, or something like that, and like, you know, don't go, and like, I don't know, like, why would you let like, that clip of yourself being such an asshole be included in the video, and then all of a sudden you just are like, oh yeah, it's not real, everything's fake, and then, like, the main character sees the footage when he sees himself be fully convinced it's real, and then, like, does nothing. You know? I know I'm not making any sense, but, like, Grave Encounters 2. Oh. So yeah, I'm pretty sure my mother is doing laps of the property, because my dog Charlie, I'm not sure if you can hear her or not, but she's doing laps too. So she's really cute. Like, Charlie is 75% German Shepherd, 25% Bernese Mountain Dog, and she is one of the most beautiful dogs I have seen in my life. Like, I've seen a lot of German Shepherds that don't look quite like her, only because, like, they're purebreds, and my dog is almost purebred, but not quite. But, like, funny story about my dog. Okay, so, he went, like, we live on a 5-acre property out in the country. Like, you've seen my property. Like, we live out in the country. Like, it's all, like, all the stuff behind me is, like, you know, trees. Hey, look, civilization, trees. Civilization, trees. But, like, yeah, you get the picture. So, like, we live out in the middle of the country, so we have to lock our gate in order to keep our dogs on the property. So this one time, I think, like, either we forgot to lock the gate or they found a way to escape. I'm pretty sure we forgot to lock the gate. So our dogs escaped. It was a few hours before we noticed, because, like, normally they're pretty quiet on the property. Like, I have to check every few minutes, or not every few minutes, I'd say every half hour, just to make sure they're on the property still. If I'm home alone and, like, everyone's at work and I just happen to have a few minutes of spare time. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So my dogs went missing. And we called the vet to report that our dogs were missing, because, like, a lot of the time when you see, like, a missing dog, I personally have seen 2 missing German Shepherds just wandering in the field next to our meadow. And I called it in, and I was like, to the vet's office, and I was like, to the vet, I was like, there are 2 German Shepherds that are missing, that I saw wandering near my house. I'm not sure if somebody reported it, because, like, the owners normally report when their dogs are missing. Like, we've done that before. We've reported our dogs missing to the vet. And they normally do call, or, like, you know, I called them in, and nobody had called for these dogs, but we normally say, hey, we just realized our dogs are missing, here's what they look like, here's the breed, just in case somebody can identify the breed, which they're mutts, so it's like, it kind of looks like a German Shepherd, but it's not a German Shepherd. No, they are, we have 2 German Shepherd mixes, and 1 Irish Wolfhound Great Dane cross. So, when you say it's a German Shepherd mix, you actually are pretty accurate, but, like, the thing about my bigger dog, like, you've seen him earlier, you saw him, like, way back, and I was like, oh, Mac, and he was, like, this big, but, like, yeah, he's completely harmless, but, like, the thing is, his color, he's beige, so I guess he does look like a mountain lion, but, like, this one, like, we found him wandering in this, like, high-end community, and, like, the people in that high-end community called the vet and was like, guys, there's a mountain lion wandering our community. Like, he's this giant beige dog. So he looks a lot like a giant, like, a mountain lion. So he actually kind of looks like a mountain lion. So I can kind of understand where they're coming from. But, like, I guess he does look kind of terrifying. So I just found it hilarious how people were like, guys, it's a mountain lion. And, like, so yeah, like, if they go missing again, next time they go missing, if they do, I'm just gonna be like, if you get a call for a mountain lion in the area that's like overly friendly, that's our dog. So yeah, sorry to go off topic, but like, yeah, so I'm looking for like really good rom-coms, because like, I love My Fair Wedding. I didn't actually mind Bridalplasty, but like, the thing about like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I can only find like, you know, season 3, episode 5 on YouTube, and of like The Bachelor, and like, you know, season 7, episode 2 of like The Bachelorette, and I'm like, the random episodes, like, if you have good wedding shows or like good rom-coms you can recommend, put them in the comments below with like which Netflix you're watching it from. Like, hey, I'm from the UK and I like so and so from this horror genre, or like I like so and so from like the wedding genre. I admit I do like wedding stuff. Yeah, I will shamelessly admit that I do like wedding stuff. Like, I intentionally Google or like YouTube like adorable like marriage proposals, and I love watching that. And like, just for a good laugh, I'm like, marriage proposal fails, whether it's like somebody refusing the marriage proposal, or it's like maybe like an unfortunate event that happened during a wedding, like wedding fails, wedding proposal fails. I love watching that on YouTube. Or like, another thing I love watching on YouTube is like, I'm not sure if you guys heard of it, but it's called Fail Army. They have some really great videos that I personally love getting drunk for. Like, if you were to get drunk or high and then watch Fail Army, like, I haven't actually gotten high in my life, but I have gotten drunk. If you were to watch Fail Army and while you're drunk, like, as long as you're not like blackout drunk, okay, so long as you're like pleasantly enough drunk where it's like, you know, you're drunk but you're not wasted kind of thing, and then you watch Fail Army, everything is so much more hilarious. Like, watch it. It's great. So yeah. Any TV show recommend to me in the comments below. Yeah. And I'm going to check out now. So you guys have an awesome night. And I will talk to you guys soon. And I will upload another video very soon. If you have any topics you would like to recommend, leave it in the comments below. I will try to respond to as many people as possible, but so far I haven't gotten a whole lot of comments. So if you have like a topic you'd like to recommend, just be like, hey, I'd like you to give your opinion on this or that, or like, what do you feel about a given topic? Like, I feel like I do have a few opinions that people might want to hear, or like that I could put out there, but I'm just not sure what you guys want to hear. So let me know and leave it in the comments below, and I will choose, I guess, what I want to talk about, and or I'll just, yeah, so let me know in the comments, and I'll get to you guys soon. Sweet. See you guys.